right, I think this is going to work now. So.
Mr. Right. Well, ladies, he may be hard to find because men are apparently going on strike, boycotting marriage, among many other things.
According to a recent study, the importance of marriage has gone up for the women up to 37% and down for men to 29%. Here to explain the trend is forensic psychologist and author of the controversial book Men on Strike. Dr. Helen Smith is here this morning. Doctor, nice to see you this morning.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me on.
We were having a bit of a discussion about this last weekend
I saw
on
that.
the show. And the argument is what? That men simply are giving up hope on marriage because they're feeling beaten down?
No, I don't think they're giving up on hope on marriage. I think what they're doing is they're looking at it, the cost reward. Men look at things in terms of cost analysis. And the penalties for marriage are so high and the rewards now are so low. First of all, there's legal costs of marriage. There are so many men now who are just saying, you know what, it's just not worth it to me. I'm going to be stuck paying the alimony. I'm going to be stuck paying for child support. And it's not just legal reasons. It's also psychological ones where men feel that basically they don't really have rights in marriage. Women hold all the cards now in reproduction and all kinds of things, and men don't.
Well, that's all true. I mean, I agree with that completely. But it still doesn't absolve men of the responsibility to stop complaining about how the cards are against them and man up and become men, because you don't become a man until...
This is the all-star of Fox News telling us that we need to man up, Drex.
So, you guys are wondering why Tucker Carlson is on here. Everything that he's about to say is the feminine perspective on marriage. Shaming language, right? Condescending tone, right? You know, when you start saying things like, you know, man up and, you know, you need to take responsibility. No. First of all, shut up, right? Like, this is the reason why I tell you guys, it doesn't matter if they're left or right. They want you for the same thing, male disposability. What you're going to see Tucker do here is basically try to say, I acknowledge all the problems. He literally just said that, right? I acknowledge it's a bad deal, but you should just man up. It's kind of like someone saying, hey, you know what? I know this girl is 500 pounds and has 5 kids by 5 different guys, but you should be a stepdad that steps up, right? No, we're not doing this, because what you're actually witnessing right now is that this dude will lead you to absolute ruin because he doesn't actually care about you. So the same person that goes on Fox News night in, night out and talks about the left this, the left that, you know, they're trying to beat down masculinity. But one of the main tenets of masculinity is real simple. It's logic and reason. You don't use emotion. If he is saying, I hear what you're saying, Dr. Helen Smith, all of this is a bad deal, and then you literally flip around and say, you should just go in there anyway. That is an emotional response. Continue.
Until you assume responsibility.
What man would take such a raw deal? I don't consider that a man.
Well, it's not a raw deal. You derive deep satisfaction as a man by taking responsibility for other people. That's the only place you get deep satisfaction.
Pause.
So men are supposed
Pause. See, let me explain this. He just said the only way a man gets deep satisfaction is being responsible for others. See, sacrifice. How many times have I said that term, Tim? Men are sacrificial, right?
Yeah.
I say it over and over and over. I say male disposability. I want you guys to look at this bitch made simp named Tucker Carlson, okay? I want you to really look at him. The next time someone says, oh, but Drex, I like Tucker. He's not a bad guy. He just said, I agree that men have no authority in marriage. I'm just going with what he's saying with he's agreeing with Dr. Helen Smith. Men have no authority, check. They have no rights, check. No reproductive rights, check. They're going to get hit with alimony, check. They're going to hit with child support, check. So if someone says, all of that I'm agreeing with you with, and then they're saying you just need to sacrifice anyway, Tim, is that a rational response or an emotional response? Fuck this dude, man. Dr. Helen Smith sounds like the only man here. You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, look, look at their faces. I want you guys to pay close attention. Look at their faces. All of this Fox News panel. Really look at them. And then look at Dr. Helen Smith. Watch her body language. Continue.
bad deal and sign their rights away, and you call that a good deal. Look, you would understand economic rewards. You did well. That's good, and maybe you have a really good wife, but a lot of men don't feel that way.
But see, Doctor, here's where I get confused. And forgive me, I just went to a wedding last night, so I'm feeling all loved up.
Euphoric.
Very, very, because it was beautiful. And any time that you do see a wedding, that the hope is renewed, and it does remind you of what's great about marriage. And so you act as though marriage is such a raw deal for men, but you do get companionship, and you get love, and you get a family, and I see men enjoy.
None of those things require marriage.
Tim, you just took the words right out of my mouth. You literally just took the words right out of my mouth. Everything, this is what I want you guys to understand, for those of you who are still on the dating market. Every last thing she described, love, which doesn't really exist, companionship, that does exist. You know, of course, shout out to Dollhouse Phil. All the things that she described exist without a legal contract. What Dr. Helen Smith is trying to get across to these idiots is that once you have skin in the game, but yet the other party is encouraged, incentivized, and rewarded for breaking the contract, that is, by definition, a bad deal. Okay? And that they're trying to argue, once again, emotionally. See, do you notice that she said how it makes her feel? Did you notice that?
Yep.
I feel my hope is renewed because I went to a wedding, so I have all the feels. Continue.
Enjoying all of that and embracing all of that.
That's a different topic. Those are also things that you can get with a relationship. We're talking about the legal aspect of marriage. I'm talking about the political and the legal ramifications of marriage, where men aren't getting such a good deal there. And there are thousands of men across the country that I've spoken to and that will tell you differently. And the statistics are bearing that out. A lot of men, you think men need to man up, but to man up, you have to be getting something out of that relationship. What you're saying is that men are getting something just by having a woman. They're just so lucky.
Here's the thing. They're allowed. The one thing I agree with you on is men are getting away with having children without marrying the woman.
They're not getting away with it. What's happening is a lot of women, number one, don't want them. The lower...
Pause. Hold up. Hold up. Okay. Okay. Are you guys understand what I'm saying now? For all of you, you cuck-servatives, you conserva cucks. Are you guys starting to figure out where my beef comes with Tucker Carlson? Did you just listen to Tim? Did you just hear what he just said? Did you just hear that shit?
Men are getting children out of wedlock.
Hey, Tim, who decides whether or not children are born? Who decides that?
The woman.
Who decides whether or not men or women have sexual access to women? Who decides that?
The woman.
Who decides whether or not after the child is born, they're going to run to a courthouse and file paperwork to get resources from the man for having a child? Who decided that? So you tell me what the guy gets to decide.
The guy doesn't even get to decide what clothes the kids wear. No, you're not putting my son in a dress. Oh, well, we're going to the police.
Yep, go to court. Continue.
Level women, what's happening is 40% of the women who are breadwinners, a lot of those lower level women are making $17,000 to $23,000. Those women use the government to pay for themselves. They don't want a man. So rather than some of those men are just opting.
Why hasn't a man written this book? Why hasn't a man written this book?
Because men can't speak up. I'm here to speak up because people will actually listen to a woman. It's really unfortunate. I want the next man, and I'm hoping by this book that next man is out there.
What's frustrating? Hold on, I want to say something as a man, because this always has frustrated me when I see commercials when men sort of speak up, they're acting like men, right? And all these commercials are out there where the man's like the lazy guy on the couch.
He's a tool.
But look what the culture is doing to the men. Culture is telling men, you are no good. You are no good in marriage. You are no good. Even you all are here saying man up to men, and that's a really negative message to be sending to men.
But what do you think the solution is?
The solution is for us to have fair laws and things for men, and to also, these commercials, we need to look at the culture and say, you know what, quit treating men like trash. Seriously, we treat men very poorly in this society, all the way from men who don't want to go to college anymore because there are many things in college that go on. It is a female-dominated place where men are not treated in a way that is fair. It's easy to sit here and say, as high-level men and women, that things are going well for you, but I've seen many men who are average, lower, and even higher-level men who aren't having such a good time. Yeah. And if you read my book, you might understand a little bit more about.
The book is called Men on Strike. It is compelling, and I think you make a compelling argument.
An awful lot of people are reading your book, by the way.
We'd love to hear what you all have to say.
All right, that's the end of that video.
Yeah, everyone on that couch, not named Dr. Helen Smith, they can go against the wall, okay? Because they're the problem. Everyone not named Dr. Helen Smith in this video is the problem. I don't know who that cuck was on the far right. He's the problem. The female in the center, she's the problem. Tucker Carlson, the point of this video, to show you, to highlight the cuck-servative view, Fox News. See, Tim, I'm fair. Okay, I'm fair. I don't just say the left, the left, the left. I always hear that all the time. People keep saying the left, the left, the left. I'm going to show you guys left and right, right? That these people are out here to destroy you. They're out here to view you as sacrificial. Tucker keeps talking about how he's like pro-man, right? Pro-masculinity. Yet he's telling you to you need to man up. And it's the man's fault the woman is pregnant. How is it men's fault women end up pregnant? How is that possible?
In today's modern technology and medicine, that is almost impossible.
Yeah. Birth control, Plan B. She has all of the rights. She has all. This dude is against you. This conservative Tucker Carlson is evil. This is what the face of evil looks like. People think that this is no, Drex, you're kind of going too far. No. Anyone that can look at a situation and say you are lamb being led to the slaughter. And I acknowledge that you are lamb to the slaughter, but you should just step up anyway because of reasons.
All right.
Fuck this dude.
So, and we actually didn't do a proper intro, so I'll do it right now, and maybe I'll cut it to the front or whatever. But this is the part 2 of the Chameleon Crusades. So we did part 1, Tommy Lauren, Men Are Trash, Lauren Southern, who renounced her old political views, got married, is pregnant, and she's all-star trad con wife, who Me Too'd Gavin McInnes, by the way. And then, of course, we had a quick sidebar on Lauren Chen. We are in part 2 of the Chameleon Crusades. Now, that's the thing, is we can talk all day about how people like AOC or Ilhan Omar or Nancy Pelosi are detrimental to the existence of men. But they don't pretend they are not. We are going after, in the Chameleon Crusades, the people who pretend to be on men's side. But then when the chips are down and their beliefs are confronted, they immediately revert to the emotional argument, the same arguments the left use.
Yeah, but PragerU, like I said, this is basically similar to Tucker. They're going to tell you to be disposable. And if you are saying you're pro-man, that's a horrible message. And that's kind of what Helen Smith was saying, right? Like that's
marriage might have been fine for your parents or grandparents, but of what value is it today? Isn't it, as more and more young people seem to be saying, just a piece of paper? Well, it turns out that piece of paper might be the most valuable thing you will ever own. Take the case of Doug Talby. At age 18, Talby worked a minimum wage job operating a press at a factory in Indiana and lived in his parents' basement. I didn't have a care in the world, Talby says. I didn't even have any bills. But after marrying at 19 and having kids, Talby's perspective changed. I had to step up and think about others and start taking care of them. Talby quit his factory job and joined the Army, where he made significantly more money and received housing and health care paid for by the military. Whenever he saw a chance at promotion, he pursued it. It meant more money and benefits for himself and his family. Recently, in a bid to further boost his family's income, he left the Army to work as a finance manager at a car dealership. He's now pulling in 6 figures. Men who see no need to marry, or who are reluctant to marry until they make more money, could benefit from Talby's discovery. Marriage has a transformative effect on the behavior, emotional health, and financial well-being of adults, especially men. Men who get...
This is what's ironic. He's actually right. But ironically, for the wrong reasons. Go back just a quick second. So I want to make sure that that's on the screen. So go back like 5 seconds. So all those points he made are on the screen.
Oh, so that's not Dennis Prager.
Yeah, that guy's not. Yeah, this just happens to be a PragerU video. Yeah, right here. Okay. Let me address this. Marriage has a transformative effect on the behavior, emotional health, financial well-being of adults, especially men. He's actually right. Okay, watch this.
It has a negative effect.
Yeah. It is transformative, right? Marriage is a transformative effect on your behavior as a man, on your emotional health as a man, and your financial well-being as a man. He's actually right. The problem is this: the behavior of a married man. Hey, Tim, do married guys have their heads held high and they're happy to be going home, most of them, and they're getting their sex that they want, and they're getting their food? Is that what most married men are getting?
Nope.
No. How about their emotional and financial well-being, right?
Well, their financial well-being is right beside their emotional health. And the reason they have to move up in life and keep getting promotions is because who's asking for more and more money every week?
She is. Okay, now this is what's great. I have to address this. Although it is true that when you're married in the military, you do get better benefits and everything. What do we know about military infidelity, Tim? What's the percent?
Oh, it's 110.
Yep. Yep. So for those of you who don't know, if you are in the service and you are out trying to make money, your chick is getting ran through, bruh. Okay, this has been confirmed by literally everyone on this show and not on this show that has been in the service. Shout out to Leximus. Shout out to RPM, Words, TFM, Navy, right? Every single person we have ever known who has served in the armed forces has told you, yes, military infidelity, they said it's basically 99%. They only spot that 1% just to not accuse literally everybody, right? This is so disposable. Continue.
Men who get married work harder and more strategically and earn more money than their single peers from similar backgrounds. Marriage also.
Okay, I got to pause on that one. Drex, they're earning more money, but you and I know how math works, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I have two numbers and I add them together and I get a result, cool. I increase one number, but then I increase the number I'm subtracting off it. Can I guarantee every single time that the result is going to be higher or lower than just the two numbers I added together? No. All right? They only presented one side of the equation together. Yes, they earn more money.
How much do they keep?
Less.
That's right. This is the reason why I wanted to bring this video up, because, like I said, this is actually speaks to a broader issue in the culture of the conservative. So a lot of married men, right, will make more money. That part is true. They do make more because they have to, right? The burden of responsibility is higher for a married man because he has more mouths to feed, right? Woman plus children, and she's always the one wanting to consume. We need new this. We need new that. We need to upgrade this. Okay, cool. Now, when it comes time to say, hey, Tim, how much free time does he have? How much more money does he remember his money that he can spend on what he wants. Take that guy who was in the service, or he went to the car dealership, right? That the guy that he just showed in the video, right? If this dude did all of that without being married, like I said, he's just going to the presumption that if you're single, that you tend to not be as ambitious. There are lots of guys who are extremely ambitious, right? Like Mark Zuckerberg was going to be Mark Zuckerberg whether he got married or not. You see what I'm saying? Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, all of these guys were going to be who they were. Oh, no. He's richer now. He lost $36 billion to McKinsey. He's richer due to the lockdowns. He is worth more today than he was when he got divorced, even though he lost $36 billion. Now, that being said, when you look at these guys, okay, Steve Jobs is another great example, right? These ambitious men, to all you men out there, shout out to guys like Strong Successful Male, great channel, Jada Black. These guys will tell you, you can make the money, Kevin Samuels, you can make the money, and they're sitting there making the money. They got the, a million subscribers, 200,000 subscribers and stuff, right? Doing their own thing on YouTube and off YouTube. They can do all of that without marriage. All of the money is theirs now. You see what I'm saying? There's no one saying, but honey, we need new drapes. But honey, we need to reupholster the kitchen. No. They just keep the money. Go on.
Also transforms men's social world. They spend less time with friends and more time with family. They go to bars less and to church more. In the words of Nobel Prize winning economist George Akerlof, men settle down when they get married. If they fail to get married, they fail to settle down. My own research bears out Akerlof's view. Married men work about 400 hours more per year than single men with equivalent backgrounds.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm. He's right. So, Tim, let me ask you this. Here's the thing. This is the beauty of this video. This is why I had to bring it up for you guys. He's actually showing you why it's a bad deal, right? On top of what Dr. Helen Smith said about your chances of divorce when women are filing 80%, And most of you guys are going to be in sexless, loveless marriages and sleeping in opposite bedrooms. So, Tim, 441 hours that you could be spending doing something else, right? Yep.
Is that?
That's a lot of workouts. Yep.
Gym 365 days out of the year for 1 hour. You can get some real results out of that.
Oh, absolutely. And we know how most married guys' bodies look, right? Because they spend so much time working, they tend to neglect their health, mental, physical, right? And the beauty of this is that he just said you have less time to spend with your friends. Hey, Tim, are men generally happier when they spend less time with their friends or sadder when they spend less time with their friends?
Sadder when they spend less time with their friends.
Mm-hmm. But hey, you spend a whole lot of time with the ball and chain. That's why they call her the ball and chain. Continue.
A Harvard study also found that married men were much less likely than their single peers to quit their current job unless they had another one lined up.
Yeah, because they can't.
Thank
All
you.
this translates into a substantial.
All right, I'm getting it now. I'll take the L on the Ben Shapiro stuff. I thought something was there that really wasn't. But holy shit!
Marriage premium. On average, married men earn almost 20% more than their single peers. That's even after controlling for different.
And wait a second, they're earning it. They're not doubling the income, even though they're tripling the expenses.
And they're working that much more, right? Of course. So okay, you're making more to spend more is basically what they're saying. So okay, so watch this. I want you guys to imagine this. You're working more and making more, right? But you're not spending because there's no one making you spend or pushing you to spend more. You have no threat of the government entering your life by saying, she wants out because I'm happy. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. So without that risk in your life, Tim, imagine you're making 6 or 7 figures, but there's, Barstool has David Portnoy. Shout out to him. Hopefully he can get through this Me Too allegation. He's worth over 100 million, right? He's a single man. How much more risk would be on his life if he were in this situation, married, right? Oof.
Differences in education, race, ethnicity, and other background factors. You can read more about this in my study, For Richer, for Poorer, How Family Structures Economic Success in America. Why is there such a substantial marriage premium? There are at least 4 important reasons. 1, after marrying, men assume a new identity. Marriage is one of the last rites of passage into manhood remaining in our society, argues sociologist Stephen.
That one we call them a chameleon. Drex, you have to get married to be a real man.
Shaming language. Conservative shaming language. I hope you guys are starting to see a trend, left and right.
He found that marriage engenders an ethic of responsibility among men, as well as a newfound sense of meaning and status in the world. 2, married men are motivated to maximize their income. This means having a different attitude toward their job. They work more hours and make better work choices. Studies find that men increase their work hours after marrying and reduce their hours after divorcing. Sociologist Elizabeth Gorman concludes that married.
Gee, Drex, why would you be incentivized to work less after you're divorced?
Yep, because you don't have to pay more. Yeah, and you will get divorced for most of you. And if you don't get divorced, you're going to have what they call a non-divorce, which is you're, divorced in terms of, emotionally, sexually, blah, 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 but you're still legally on paper married. And this is what we call the loveless marriage, the sexless marriage, the you live in separate parts of the house marriage. You are resorted to the man cave marriage, which is what most guys are dealing with right now. And yeah, they have to maximize their income.
Married men are more likely to value higher paying jobs than their single peers. 3, there is evidence that employers prefer and promote men who are married. Married men are often seen as more
ball and chain,
easier to control,
responsible and dedicated workers, and are rewarded with more opportunities to advance. 4th, and finally, married men benefit from the advice and encouragement of their wives, who have an obvious interest.
Drex!
So you're a cuck. You're a cuck. Okay, so let me ask you this. Tim, I want you to tell me what advice and encouragement a married woman gives her husband day in, day out.
Make more money.
Make more money. And who's the money for? Is it to buy the Harley that he wants? Is it to go on the trip that he wants?
No.
Is it to buy a doll?
Nope.
Is it to do anything that benefits him?
Fuck no.
Who's it benefit?
Her. Can't even say the kids.
It doesn't even benefit the kids, in all honesty, unless you say private school, and then in a sense that benefits her because she only wants to put the kids in private school for her social status. And then when she divorces you, she gets more money. Yeah, I said when, not if. When she divorces you, if your kids are in private school, those of you who don't know, the children must maintain the same lifestyle post-divorce. Thus, if they were in private school when you were married to her, they must remain in private school, however much that costs, after the divorce. That is why, as TFM said, they promote you guys to keep you locked in to be a workhorse. And that is all you will ever be, is a workhorse for the government and for her.
Interest in their success. There is no better motivator than your spouse. The tragedy is that despite all the good news we keep learning about the benefits of marriage, the institution is in retreat. In 1960, 72% of all adults ages 18 and older were married. Today, it's 49%. In 1960, the average age at which men married was 23. Today, it's 29. The consequences of this are negative across the income spectrum, but they are especially so for those in the lower and middle classes. Marriage is a clear path to a better life. It always has been, and now we have plenty of data to confirm it. But if you still don't believe me, just ask Doug Talby and millions like him. I'm Brad Wilcox, Associate Professor of Sociology at the University of Virginia for Prager University.
He's no bull. His real name is Brad Cox, okay? What you guys just witnessed is a conservacuck, okay? And this is the beauty of places like PragerU that say that they are against the woke, they are against the left. They still want you to be disposable. And the beauty of this is very simple. Everything that you just heard, less time with your friends, less income for you, more for her. She's going to tell you what to do. Her advice is basically the government saying, you're going to do this, right? Because when she says it, that means the government's telling you to make more money, right? Okay, you get kids that you're probably not going to see very much because, Tim, he just said that you're working 441 additional hours per year, right? That means you have less time with your children, okay? You're not going to spend that much time with your kid. And when he says there's millions of guys like that guy, yeah, I want all of you guys to go to the family court and just see how many guys are telling you to go ahead and rush in and get married, what PragerU is telling you. No, this is male disposability at its finest. Just shut up, like Tucker says, and man up. And then you can get this PragerU lifestyle. If all of that sound like it was a good deal, then by God, go ahead and do it. Sign the devil's contract, and then let us know how it turned out for you.
But anyways, that is another edition of our Chameleon Crusades. We'll be back next time. We'll think of some other chameleons that need to be taken down a notch or two.
Sydney Watson.
Yeah, Sydney Watson. I'll have to do some research on Sargon. We'll get back to him. I know we heard a bunch of people talking about him in passing in part one.
Candace Owens.
I don't. She might end up being more like Ben Shapiro.
Give us receipts on Candace Owens if there was a hard flip.
Yeah, it's more of the saying one while doing the other.
Yeah, like Tommy Lauren.
Zoe, but Zoe Quinn's not a.
Yeah, she's just all the way crazy all the time.
Yeah, she didn't pretend to be wholesome. Anyways, we'll end the recording. Till next time, everyone, stay frosty.
Stay toxic. Peace, everybody.